Welcome to Perspective Shifts with SeanathonJoiclaire. Get your coffee, get your tea, and come on, sit down with me. and let's and let's talk about games of the world. Games of life in general. And also my coffee for today is a Cafe Bustelo caramel vanilla coffee with extra whipped cream. It is so delicious. And I love this cup. Love, love, love this cup. I want a picture just like this cup. But let's get into it. So, one thing that a lot of people complain about is why don't schools teach about life? Because schools is teaching you how to be a part of a corporation and a structure that the world is ran by. Street knowledge is teaching you the cheat codes of the game of the corporations that is being ran. Games in general, board games, arcade games, card games, is teaching you the baseline of all the games that's being played to get a structure, to have a footing in the game of life. Being free teaches you how to maneuver outside of the game, but still get the benefits and the reward for being in the game, but not being in the game. You can still get wins from the game, which is life, without being integrated into it. So let's get into it. When you're playing Uno, most times you're playing with your friends, you're playing with your family, and Uno, only one person can win. So when you feel like you're being betrayed or the person next to you is doing too much, you have to understand you are not their friend, you are not their family, you are their competitor and their opponent in the game. You have to understand that it's the same way with life. When everyone is trying to win at life, they do not see you as family. They do not see you as a friend. They only see themselves winning. Only one person can win. That is their mindset. That is the object of the game. So when you feel anything outside of being betrayed, or this is just my opponent inside of the game, it's because you're taking your feelings and your emotions inside of a game that is called Uno. And then when you think of Connect Four is teaching you how to connect the simple dots before the other person can even understand what just happened to them. And once you connect the dots, you say Connect Four. And the other person like, where? You have to show them where you connected the dots at. See what I'm saying? So once you understand the structure and the underlying meaning of every game, you'll understand the corporations, how they build themselves inside of the game. It also makes me think of this, because we're going to go deeper into all the different games. When a person realizes a game is being played on them, the first thought in their mind is they didn't play by the rules. Pretend that these are the 3 rules. You can't steal, you can't kill, you can't destroy. You cannot destroy the core rules, which is the law. But there are also different branches underneath one law to where someone can maneuver and have access, but you have to create the rules based upon the law. You can't steal from corporations. You can't steal from other people. But if you understand the underlying meaning of what is stealing, you can steal, but it depends on how you steal. You can't destroy the rules that is created, but you can destroy someone else, but you have to do it in a way they don't realize they're being destroyed. Prime example. Operation teaches you how to remove pieces from the person without being caught. And by the time the game is over, the person who has the more pieces won, and the person who was operated on realized how many pieces of them was gone. But at that point, it's already too late. And every time you accidentally hit something, the buzzer go off. That's them realizing that you're trying to take a piece of them. When you think about rolling dice, which is a street game, I don't know if they play this in casinos. I'm not a casino girl, so I have no idea. But when you're rolling dice, everyone is betting on themselves right at that moment. And they're taking the little pieces of them and putting it on the table that they will win. That's the same way in life when people take a gamble and bet on themselves. And the person who roll the dice and get the number that's supposed to make them win, they become a... So the person that roll the dice and they win, most time people playing on the ground. I keep saying table. And they win, everybody look at them like a lick. Everyone becomes upset because all of them betted on themselves, but only one person won. And the one person that won, they won big. They won everything else that everyone else put on the table. That is the same thing that happened in life. Even though you're not winning their blessings, but they feel like they put everything on the ground in order to win and you won it all, now they want to take you out. Now they want to come behind you. But if you don't find the value of leaving, you will become the very thing that they will win. Because they're going to see you as a lick. Some people have gotten hurt. Some people have gotten offed just because they won. The moment you win in life, you cannot keep the people around that don't see your win as a win of you playing justly. They'll see it as a dirty win. Because how dare you win before them? And if you hold on too tightly, they'll do you some dirty things. And that'll teach you about business. It'll teach you about how everyone is kind of out for themselves in a way. And that if you don't understand the value of taking what you have scaled to a certain point to the next level, everyone on that level will do everything to take you out so they can get to the next level. And when you truly think about it, it brings me to this concept with doctors, with lawyers, teachers, anyone, any degree that you can get in schools, in college, teach you how to be a part of the infrastructure of the corporations that helps run the world, to be able to abide by their rules and their laws in order to benefit them versus every player in the game. Let me take a sip of my coffee. It made me think about this. People say everything that someone is doing, they have to tell you. And it made me think about this. When you look at the Bible from a human standpoint and not as a spiritual being, in order to get a different perspective, you will just think it's just a book. But in order to understand it deeply in the underlying meanings, you have to understand it from the soul. Everyone is trying to beat someone with the flesh, but no one is trying to beat them with the soul. In order to beat someone with the soul, you have to connect to God in order to see the win. If the devil can only see and obtain, how would I say this? Authority over your flesh, if you agree with it by telling someone how you are about to be blessed or what you want to be blessed with, he can stop the soul's destiny by putting in blockages so you can never receive it. He doesn't know what is going on with your soul unless you expose it. That is the only way he can get an upper hand, but he don't know how you are moving unless you tell him the next step. So that's why when you do things out of the ordinary, people are like, oh, why did you do this and why did you do that? It's not about you doing it. is about them not knowing that you was going to do it. People like to predict things before they happen. Versus you being unpredictable, you're not manageable. They can't manage you. They can't know how to dictate or tell you or feed you negativity to go a certain way if they know you're going that way. But if they don't know you're going that way, they're like, damn, okay, she a step ahead of me. So now I got to figure out her next step. If she going this way, I need to figure out the options going that way. But if you tell them just because I turn left, don't mean that I'm looking on the left side of the street. I might be looking at the right side of the street, but right in the middle. You see what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, you get a job. Best way to explain is if you get a job and you go to be a cashier and they expect all you to be is a cashier. But you like, no, I know in a week the manager position is going to open up. I'm not going to tell a soul. Everyone expecting you just to be a cashier there. Then next thing you know, you're like, oh, I'm a manager. When you became a manager? A week ago. You ain't even tell me you applied. Oh, I was just keeping it to myself. But you know, in the next month, you can become a general manager. Say, for instance, you decide to tell somebody. Next thing you know, your coworker that's a cashier go apply for the general manager position and get it. And you like, but I wanted that. That was for me. But you open your mouth. See how much further you can get when you close your... Okay. And once you understand the underlying meaning of the games in life, the world is teaching you about life in little ways that is digestible for you to teach your kids. But the thing is, just because you're playing the game and you know the basic rules of the game, what is the underlying meaning of the game where I can make them understand and make others understand how it's being played? Everything is psychological. The perfect mind game that we teach kids is guess the number 1 through 10. Guess the number 1 through 10. And you thinking in your mind 7. And they say 7. But you like, I don't want them to feel like they won. I'm going to see how they going to feel if they, I was thinking of 2. And they're trying like, oh man, like I really had an intuitive feeling that it was 7. You're like, no, I always had 2 in my mind. See how that's a mental game. If the person doesn't write it down, you will never know the true number that they had in their mind. Their intentions is to make you feel like a win or a loser because they have control of the number that they have in their mind that isn't written down on a physical piece of paper or a thing that you can hold on to while you are guessing the number. See how that's being played? That makes children not believe their intuition. It's the first mental game you teach your child. And chess, I don't know if we talked about chess yet, but chess teaches you to understand the pieces and the way that the other person is maneuvering in the game by paying attention to how they position their pieces on the board. And once you understand how they position their pieces on the board, you will see what is most valuable to them and what they will use to try to ruin your players on your side, your pieces on your side. And it make you think about how they will use the people around them in order to win. If someone is constantly using their queen in order to clear your side, is because that is the most important piece to them that they can use objectively without being questioned about it, because she can move in more places than the king. He values the woman to move, and he values his mind to think. But once you understand that, The woman is meant to think. The man is meant to move. The woman is meant to move the objective pieces, or the pieces that is a little bit tougher, in spots that need to be moved really quickly and go back. But she moved them with her mind and her understanding that I am stronger than every piece on the board, long as I have my king. But if you constantly have that woman moving, eventually she's going to move away from you because they realize your most important piece. Huh? And then once the game is said and done, the person that won will show you that you was a pawn in your own game. Spades teach you about partnerships and understanding the importance of picking the correct partner, because only one can lead and the other one has to follow in order to collect the books. Collecting books can be money in life. Collecting books can be investment. Collecting books can be so many things. But you understand, once you are connected to that person, y'all in it to win it, or y'all gonna lose it all. Because if your partner decides to leave, no one else is going to want to partner with the other person because they saw you winning and losing with them. They are going to adjust your value in how you can help or deteriorate them based upon the partner that you had. People either going to want you on their team or not on their team. Or they're going to respect your partner enough to not even put you on another team, just because your partner left for life. Say for instance, in life, say for instance, you were a married couple and your partner decided to leave briefly. Y'all just separated a little bit. And your friend's like, I respect your partner enough not to put you on to somebody else and allow y'all to work it out. Versus somebody like, nah, you can come over here. I got you. I've been looking at you for a minute. Come on. Come over here. See the difference with that? When you understand that the world has taught you about life, you will understand how you position yourself in life. The game is not rigged. It's meant for you to create your own rules. Understand the base of the rules and understand the underlying meaning of the rules in order for you to win. It's about creating your own rules in a world that is based upon one general rule. Win. Because, prime example, somebody can be mentally torturing the hell out of you. And it's hard to sue them because of it. Because it's mental. It's so many things you have to prove and you have to do that they are doing something mental versus something physical. Something physical can be civil or it can be criminal based upon the aspects of the rules and the law of the game. Something mental is telling you, stop being a pawn in someone else's game. It's showing you that you understand how they are mentally treating you. How are you physically going to remove yourself or play the game to make them feel like they're a pawn now in your game? How many times you will play chess with someone before you realize which one is the pawn? And I just think that's so interesting that games that we play teach you so much about life. And that's why some people feel like why aren't you winning when you have all these small little different things? And you're like, but that doesn't matter. It does. It does. Money is the win, but the struggle creates the winner. And once you understand that, every tool is an access point. Prime example, Hunger Games. I think Hunger Games is the best documentary ever made in this It is a lifetime because it shows you how each, dang, I want to call them burrows. I don't remember what they call. I'm going to call them burrows today. It shows you how each burrow, everybody had nothing. But yet they use that nothing in order to create something to strengthen themselves just in case their name was called to play the game. In life, when your name is being called for you to receive your blessing, you have to go through so many trials and tribulations in order to win. But you have to take what you learn in a struggle to win, and you have to understand your strength in order to win. And when they are in the training camps, they have to strengthen in their win. So when they get out on the playing field, they will be the only one left standing. The goal is to be the only player left standing out of all the trials and tribulations that you went through, so the world can pay you to live a life worth living. But the only way you can get a life worth living is understanding the game that is being played. And to understand the game being played, you have to understand the struggle of learning the game. The struggle to create your rules around the laws and the rules that the world gave you, and all the underlying meanings of it. And when I say this, I'm going to say this too, because I think it's interesting. I think I'm going to make another video on it too. But how would I say this? How to explain this one? This one is a little bit tougher for me to explain. The game feel like it's rigged the moment someone feel like they lost. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. The game feels rigged the moment someone feel like they lost because they didn't create their rules to win in the game. The world creates boundaries around everything God said is free. And the most people are the only people you really see enjoying the freedom of everything that God said that you can get is the people that won the game. They removed the boundary. But in order to remove the boundary, you have to understand that it is owed to you the moment that you won the game. It can no longer be there. Say, for instance, somebody wrote out a will for you, and they said that you're supposed to have streets paved with gold, all your heart desires. Anything that you ask for, you want it, you can have it, as long as you do what you need to do and work in your purpose. And you come up to this person and you be like, I'm supposed to be getting this. And they say, who are you? Well, this is who I am. Are you sure that's who you are? And you question yourself, say, this is who God said I am, but who are you? And you like, but God said this is who I am. They send you back. And you like, but God said all these things is free. It's because you didn't stand up there and tell them who you are. You didn't show them that your struggle and your hustle meant to remove your boundary. If they telling you it's going to cost you this much money in order for us to give you this will, and you don't have the money. And you like, I can't work on my purpose. Your purpose is what removed the boundary in order for the world to pay you to get everything free that God gave you. Huh? But in order to get it, you got to know who you are and stand firmly in it. It's all a game. It's not about it being rigged. It's about how are you playing it? How are you understanding it? If the soul understand is free, the world will make the body think it is caged because it cannot own a free soul, a soul that it did not give you. But the world can give you a body for your soul to operate through. God give you the soul, the world give you the body. The boundaries in the middle is everything they tell you that you need to have in order to get to the other side. But once you realize my purpose is what gets the boundary removed and given to me to get to the other side, then I have won the game and I can live my life in everything that God sees is free. But to understand the will, I have to first understand my purpose. To understand the boundary fully, I have to understand it's a fictitious thing in order to keep me from God's will. Because if everybody removed the boundary, what is the meaning of money? It will not exist. Money allows the world to run off of the labor of the people who don't understand the purpose. If I can make you run on the side of this forever, you will never get to this. If you don't understand who you are. But the people who is on this side, they are not running the same line. They are enjoying the free resources and the sources that keep becoming abundant to them and replenish, and their cup is overflowing, is because they understood to remove the boundary. The generational curse make you remove the boundary for lineages that come after you in order to create Nepo babies, in order to create generational wealth. It's understanding your connection to God. It's not about is somebody good or evil or this or that. The game is not rigged. They understood how to play it. They understood your purpose is what unlocks the door. But your body is what keeps you bound to things that cannot allow you to unlock the door. That's why evil people can have so much. It's because they understood the purpose or they understood the boundary of money. If they couldn't work in their purpose, I promise you they're going to climb the ladder so fiercely to get the money, to remove the boundary. Once they remove the boundary of the world, they can have everything on the other side that their heart desires. And people will pay. People will sell their souls, sell their bodies in order to get a piece of the other side. And then once they get to the other side, they realize they needed their soul. And once they got to the other side, they realized they didn't have to sell their body in order to get it. But the question is, do you know who you are in order to get it? You have to know who you are. You can't separate the body and you can't separate the soul. You have to allow your soul to use your body. It depends on who you give it to. If you give your body to the world, you will always have a boundary. If you give your body to God, you will move the boundary and be able to experience everything that He has in His will for you. The only thing you need to know is who you are. Because what Jesus said is, I know who I am. What God say, I am who I am. And what you supposed to say, I am SeanathonJoiclaire, God's child. This is my purpose. Doing this, this, and this, and this, and that. And once you understand that, the world have to pay you the boundary that they was making, and it seemed like you needed in order to get to the other side. And when you think about that, most people in the Bible told you who they are, who they was, without hesitation, especially when they was asked. No matter what they went through, they told you who they was. And they always made it to the other side of that boundary, huh? And they always got everything that boundary made them feel like they need to pay to get to the other side. It's old to you. Just gotta realize how to get to it. That's why people keep you from your purpose, so you can be connected to the world. Because they understand the moment that you connect with your soul, you will no longer be a part of what holds you captive in the world. You'll be able to experience all these luxurious things that we see only select people get to experience and see by knowing who you are. But if you get there by building the corporate ladder, you will always feel like you forgot your soul. This is a good conversation today. Oh, gosh, I'm loving it. Oh no, we ain't gonna do it, child. But I really wanted to explain this thought that I was having in my mind, and it's interesting because anytime that you see someone that is doing something outside of the corporate structure in order to intertwine themselves with the access of the world, is because not only do they know who they are, but they know how to play the game. When someone is building a business, they understand either that's a part of their purpose or that's the easiest way to get to the money in order to get to the other side, which is their freedom. Or if you see somebody working in their purpose, they understand who they are, that they can get the boundary, which is feel like holding them back in order to get to their freedom. It's all about getting to your freedom in the world. But the only way you can do that is by knowing who you are. When in the Hunger Games, and I keep emphasizing know who you are, somebody need to hear that I'm convinced. And if you need to hear it, it's for you. I hope you listening, not only with your flesh, but your soul. Huh? But anyway, in Hunger Games, I don't remember that girl's name. The main character, she knew who she was and she understood her strength to its full capacity, and it allowed her to be afraid of herself because she knew how ruthless she can be, but it hurted her to her heart and her soul that she had to do those things in order to win. And she took that boy along the way. She made sure that nothing happened to him because she knew he was a weaker person than her. She knew he ain't had the heart that she had from the struggle that she went through. Her being a person that was so experienced in archery allowed her to not see the falling of her opponents when it was time for her to shoot her arrows. And she understood that she couldn't see them at eye level. She had to be above them in order to understand their next step to save herself. Because she knew she wanted to leave out of the game, because she wanted to get to the most important people to her. It was her mama, her sister, and that boy that she loved, honey. And once the game realized that was why she was holding on, it took out those three very people to see would she still hold on to herself after she lost everything that she loved. And when she lost everything that she loved, she realized the game was rigged. And it was up to her to change the rules. So when that woman at the last Hunger Games, I don't remember the name of him, at the last one, when that woman wanted her to take that man out, she took that woman out. And she allowed the people to take that man out. Because she understood the man was not her enemy. He was a little bit. But she understood that woman was the very thing standing in the way of her true and real freedom. And the moment she got her freedom, she didn't even really know how it meant to be free. She was still looking for the war, and she was in the promised land. She had to settle her nervous system down in order to understand everybody could not come with her. That the world will strip you of everything that you love just to see was that win worth it. That's why nobody can't come with you. Because the world will take away bits and pieces of you until you realize who took those pieces of you. Why did they take those pieces of you? And what do you have left in order to enjoy everything that you was trying to win? Crazy, ain't it? And that was the game of operation. Taking the little pieces out, take out this little piece, take out of that little piece. And every time somebody was trying to take a piece of her in the game and she caught it, she made sure she was on their tail like white on rice. Like, hold up now. What you trying to do? Especially when that boy had hit that electric fence and she thought that guy was gonna do. She had that bow and that arrow. And she realized what she was doing it because she was trying to not only protect herself, but protect him too. But she was also putting up that guard and that boundary. Like, I saw you trying to take something away from me. Take a piece of me away from me. And before I let you do that, I'll take you out. Because the moment you hit that little piece with the little metal piece with the little tweezer, go ding and shake. I hope y'all get what I was trying to put down. Create the rules by working in your purpose. And the world will have to pay you the boundary. Stop trying to feel like you need to obtain all this money in order to pay the boundary to get the will that is free to you. The world can no longer restrict the body once you realize what needs to be obtained through the soul in order to get to the will. And at that point, you operate in heaven and you understand your freedom. Everybody say, when you die, the streets gonna be paved of gold and this and that. Your spirit can't walk. Your spirit can't move and do all these different things that the body can. So how will my spirit be able to walk in streets paved of gold when the body is used for the soul? When the soul uses the body in order to experience the 3D world or 5D or whatever the hell D y'all want to call it in its fullness and the beauty around it. If space is full of darkness, why do you believe that it's something different? When you look at different parts of the world, see how beautiful it is. The animals, the trees, the scenery, the smell. You'll understand the heaven around you. When you see the ugliness of this world, you will understand the hell below you. Experience heaven on this earth by understanding your freedom to experience God's will. And if you can't see the beauty in this world, how would you see it after. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everybody got vision for it. But what you see now is only a continuation after life. Your vision cannot change unless you change it before you die. And most people that's on their deathbeds, they'll tell you everything they wish they would have done, everything they wish they would have seen, everything this and that and this, and how beautiful the world really is, because they understood that the world is heaven. A piece of heaven. You telling me God created something so beautiful and I can't experience it unless I pay up? Hold up now. And all of us got a purpose. What is that purpose leading you? It's the key to your freedom. Just got to recognize it. So I think that's it. That's a perspective to shift your reality and something to really be thought about. So think about it. What's your favorite game? And how will you create the rules around it? There you go. The girl who won the Hunger Games, she was the only one that had a heart throughout the whole entire thing. Everyone else was focused on winning or not being introduced or introduced back to the game. She was the only one who understands that she can still have love and still participate in the game. Her partner, he was full of love, but he had no real idea of what all he needed in order to win the game. He followed by her lead because she led with her mind, but she always followed her heart. I had to add that because that is important. Because on this journey of life, you'll find people that's just out for the win. You'll find people that lead with their heart, and you'll find people that lead with their mind, and you'll find people that lead with their heart but lead with their mind but protect their heart throughout it. Those are the people that truly win. The person who lead with their head but protect their heart. There you go.